The Warriors got their rings, and the alleged new-look Lakers finally got to this after opening night last night. The Lakers look the same as they ever were, only older and probably worse and crustier. To the surprise of nobody, they get blown out last night. And I'm here to tell you I have already seen enough to say that that's not just one game. That's who these guys are. I can say that one game in. That's not overreaction Wednesday. That's not hot take Van Smack. This is who these guys are. This is how it's going to go. That's who they were. That's who they still are, only older and worse. Nothing has changed. That 1-5 preseason, that's who they are. Last year, when they messed the bed and they didn't make the postseason, that's who they were. That's who they are. Nothing has changed. They still can't shoot. They still can't or won't defend. Their roster is still horribly constructed. Despite what the GM said last year was horrible, arguably their worst season ever, and this could be even worse than that. And yes, I am saying that one game in. What's different? What's changed? And yes, Laker fans, so now would be an excellent time to panic. Or just what we always do when a team in this town embarrasses us and itself, we move on to the freaking next thing. That's why LA is a great town and a terrible sports town, because we're not going to put up with that. We will find something else to do. Another team, another party. In fact, that's it, another party. There's always a better party, and we're not at it. The LA motto, there's always a better party, and we're not at it, and the Lakers are the worst party. This is who they are now, all right? This is not going to get better. This is not going to get better. One game in, the GM ran his team under the bus. But I'll tell you what, my man, bravo. Bravo on the first bit of insight. That's incredible that he went there. I mean, it's true. It's all true. But that he went there one game into the season is incredible. Incredible. The GM went there. We're not constructed to win like that. We can't shoot. Oh, is shooting important? Is that something you need? Being able to make shots? He also said, hey, we got some great looks. And I don't know if we got great looks or if they gave us great looks. Oh, no, ding, 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 ding. You got that right. The latter. They gave you great looks. And why? Because of exactly what you said. We can't shoot. One thing for this guy to think it, one thing for this guy to say it privately, for this dude to roll out post-game, publicly, after the first game, and just openly say it is incredible. Not after a 2-12 start. Not like this season is slipping away. One game in, we can't shoot. I.e., the hell didn't you get me some shooters? Ramby, Rob Lowe, Jeannie, all of you, the hell didn't you get me my shooters? How come I don't have any shooters? I don't know, the GM. I thought you were the GM. Shooting's important. You got to make shots. You got to make shots. But I wanted Westbrook. Weren't you the one that had that meeting? Weren't you the one that brought this guy in? You want shooters, but you wanted Russell Westbrook. I'm telling you that is astonishing audio. It's incredible. It's one of my favorite things he's ever said. That he just said that point blank after one game? We can't shoot. Our roster is poorly constructed. It's not like we got a bunch of guys out there that are career 40% shooters. Wow. Yeah, no joke. I'm sure that your first year, one game in head coach appreciates the Hall of Famer and face of the franchise already pointing the finger. Like, hey, man, I did my thing. I did my job. As always, how come you didn't get me any shooters? What, it's the GM's fault? I thought you were the GM. That is something else. This is why I say one game in, I've already seen enough. You know why? Because apparently LeBron's already seen enough one game in. That's why I can say this is who they are. Nothing has changed. one game in, I've seen enough, because he's already seen enough. They still can't shoot. They still won't defend. The roster is still horribly constructed. Nothing has changed. So while I am prepared to say that their season is already over, one game in, I'm not going to pile on Westbrook and say it's all of his fault.
Westbrook.
I won't do that. There's plenty of blame to go around. However, what is more Westbrook than him blaming that injury that he suffered, that strain coming out of the preseason, for having to come off the bench? He said that. Some nonsense about how he's not used to that. It jacked with his routine. He couldn't get warm because he didn't know when he was coming in. He didn't start the game. Like, dude, if you're not good enough to do your job well enough that you're one of the starting five, change your routine. Because saying, start me or I'll snap my hammy, does not make them or you look or be any better. That's effectively what he's saying. Hey, man, start me or I'm liable to pop my hammy. Start me or I might get some kind of strain. Just let me do what I've always done. That's the problem, Russ. You can't do what you've always done. You can't shoot it. You're not defending anybody. You won't take care of the basketball. You're not better. What happened to this whole, we'll do whatever it takes? One game in, already LeBron is saying, hey, man, we are not built for this. We can't shoot. One game. One game. Like that made everybody forget that Draymond actually made a self-produced documentary about the punch that aired before the game. Incredible. So the more things change, the more they stay exactly the same. And the purple and gold Titanic is already taking on crazy amounts of water. This is going to be fun. That might be my favorite LeBron post-game comment ever, other than, oh no, last year wasn't a failure. No, not at all.